There was a City of Dodge City Commission meeting on Monday, and that means Nick from the city is with us this morning to talk about what happened at the City of Dodge City Commission meeting. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Josh.
Well, what's going on in the city?
Well, we had a budget study session to go over.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's always fun looking at all the numbers, but budget's pretty much staying fairly flat. A lot of people don't realize that we do not increase our mill levy. We've actually lowered it substantially. What that means is, I know your valuations go up, but if your value of your property doesn't go up, you may see a little bit of a savings from the city side of it. But we've done a pretty good job of keeping it low over the last several years, and we're trying to continue that. But everything's looking pretty good, and I think we'll have a motion to approve the budget on September 7th and finalize that. The crazy part with budgeting, a lot of people don't understand, is you're trying to read a crystal ball that's 18 months ahead of where you're at today. And that's very difficult because you don't know where sales tax is going to be. You don't know where expenses are going to be if something crazy comes up and you have to address it. It's just a very difficult process and takes a little bit of time to try to at least, do your best as you can in making sure that you got the funds to do what you need to do.
Absolutely. And that budget, you're working on the budget that would kick in January 1st of 27.
Correct.
But here it is August of 26 because it's just that much. You have to get that far ahead. But there's some state laws that you have to do certain things too, like
Absolutely.
with the revenue neutral and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we have to do, and that's on a very set schedule through the state of Kansas. So that way the county can do their process, the state can do what they need to do on their end. But we actually start the process clear back in January,
Wow.
Which is pretty wild when you think about it. But we start looking at projects for the next couple years, what are costs doing, and kind of just determining exactly where we're going to be moving and what projects are going to be important to us for the upcoming years. But with that being said, we did approve the HVAC replacement project out at the public library. It has been unbelievably hot, and it's been a long process, but it takes quite a bit of work to ensure that you do the right equipment and you do the right scope of services. But that project's been approved, and we're moving forward on that. Another big project we've been working on throughout the summer with the cooperation of the school district and the YMCA is the swimming pool. So we've been redoing the dehumidification system, the filtration, painting of the pool, just a lot of other improvements in that area. So if you've not been in there, they're probably going to open it up here probably next couple months, and you'll be able to see all the changes they've made into the pool there at the YMCA. They also did approve for purchasing of a water truck for the racetrack. We put water down 4 to 5 days a week during race season. People don't realize it, but it takes a lot of water to keep moisture in that track, and you don't want the dust and all the issues you have with the track surface.
Absolutely. And yet you're buying one because currently you're renting one.
Yes.
And long-term savings, of course, owning over
absolutely.
buying.
Yeah, we spend about $30,000 a year leasing, and so it makes a lot more sense to go ahead and purchase it.
Absolutely.
And we had one that was like a 1983 model, and we decided it probably was best to retire it when the transmission went out instead of fixing it.
Right.
And so by leasing, we determined it probably just makes more sense just to go ahead and purchase one.
Right.
Then the other thing is we're still making improvements out the airport, and so we approved an agreement and funding a grant from the federal government for the airport parking lot. So we're going to be expanding the parking lot and redoing the existing one, adding probably another 100 or so stalls just to the south, or just to the west, sorry, of the existing lot. Right now it kind of serves as a temporary lot, and you'll see people out there, but it'll be a paved lot.
It's kind of grass and kind of asphalt millings and kind of a mess, but it'll be a nice new level lit
that is
concrete
correct.
Lot.
It'll be really nice.
Right.
And we've talked about actually putting some shade structures in there as well to have a little bit of covered parking for people that are there a little bit longer.
Makes sense.
Just to keep their vehicles protected and out of the elements a little bit better. So kind of looking at that option. Other thing we have going on Saturday is Public Safety Appreciation Day at the pool. So if you are a public safety officer, whether it be a sheriff's deputy, a police officer, a firefighter, paramedic, anything related to such, even emergency management, you are invited to come to the Long Branch Lagoon
Awesome.
and bring your family, and they'll have dinner, and just want to show our appreciation for everything that they've done. And we've actually opened that up to the surrounding counties and communities as well. So, Clark County and Ness and
All of them.
yeah, Gray, Edwards, if want to come on over, let's have a good time and get away. And it's supposed to be hot again,
Of course.
every day.
It is
today
August.
it's a little nice.
Yeah, it's
but,
not too bad today, but
yes, but it's not going to cool
Right.
off anytime soon. And I think the last thing that we have is we got our formal approval from the state of Kansas and the lieutenant governor for our STAR bond projects.
awesome.
And so we are able to issue the bonds now. And that was our last formal step through the state that we needed. We are going to be basically from our first STAR bond, which was in the Heritage District, phase one. I do not remember the exact amount of money that we spent, but since phase one, and with this expansion, it's going to be another $60 million worth of investment in the downtown area.
Awesome. And that Heritage District, that downtown area is anchored by like the water park and Boot Hill and then east to the depot or
Yeah, to the depot.
kind of
yes,
that area?
Yeah, and Central Station kind
Right.
of included. And actually goes a little bit farther down White
Okay.
Earp on the south side. But yes, it's a fairly large area, but it's really that historical
Right. That
downtown. The
area, right.
traditional downtown areas
Fair enough.
is what it is.
So they started the Wyatt Earp Gateway area. They got that all cleaned up, and they're going to start building there, I'm sure, soon. And then more streetscape happens further north, correct?
That is correct.
And new parking lots on 3rd, and I don't remember what all. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
The racetrack museum's part of that.
Racetrack Museum, be improvements, digital projection mapping
That's right.
on the museum, and also on the First National Bank building, which is going to be the Marshall Hotel,
Right.
which we're really excited about, and that's moving forward. And I did see some logos and some mock-ups. It looks really cool.
Very cool.
That'll be more information going to be out there here
Right.
before too long. But also, Second Avenue is going to be extended to the north. Third Avenue is going to probably go all the way to Vine. We're working through some proposals for the old quilt shop there on Spruce and Third. And so there's just a lot of movement going on. And we've also already started working on the facades. We have a business that reached out to us wanting to make some significant improvements to one of those downtown buildings. And so we're going to look at partnering with them and,
Awesome.
and kind of step it up and make
Right.
it look just absolutely amazing. And hopefully that'll serve as kind of the, hey, this is what it could look like downtown.
Right.
And get the other business and property owners excited.
And that's part of the Star Bonds as well. And people keep mentioning the old shade structure that came down. The 3-block long 1970s, not historic shade structure.
Yes.
That's not going back, but business facades, if it calls for an awning and for the architecture and time period, and the owner of the building wants one,
Yes.
that's what this next project
Yeah,
is.
we're going to be looking at balconies,
Right.
awnings. They call them eyebrows, which is a little bit different style. But there's a lot of different styles there, so it won't just be one continuous look. It'll be more natural,
Right.
and what you see in a traditional downtown
Right.
area.
Building time period and architecturally appropriate. So shade is coming.
Yes.
It's just not going to be one giant 3-block long monolithic cover up and hide everything
Yes.
building thing.
Yes, and it did hide the buildings quite
lot.
well.
Yeah.
And now that the buildings are exposed, it definitely shows.
Time to fix the buildings.
It is time to fix the buildings and clean them up.
Absolutely. Well, good stuff. DodgeCity.org, of course, is where you go to see previous agendas, future agendas. You can sign up. They will text it to you or email it to you, either one or both, if you want. So it's all free to do. DodgeCity.org is the place to go. If you want to get a hold of Nick or anybody, I know all of your contact information, phone numbers, email addresses are all on the website. So if you have questions for somebody from the city, you can reach out and ask.
Or you can reach out to Josh, and he'll get a hold of me.
Yeah, there you go. Send me a message and I'll call Nick. Hey, Nick, got a question?
Yep, sounds
work.
good.
All right. Thanks, Nick. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Josh.